At this year's Art Basel in Basel, the prices were high, but the stories behind the paintings were even deeper. From peaceful countryside roads to twisted city portraits, from pop art legends to modern masters, this wasn't just about expensive art, this was about why collectors were spending millions. In this video, we are counting down the top 10 most expensive paintings sold at Art Basel in Basel 2025. At number 10 is James Rosenquist, Playmate 1966, which sold for $1.8 million by Thaddeus Roper Gallery. This large painting by James Rosenquist was made in 1966 during the golden era of pop art. Rosenquist used to paint billboard ads before becoming a fine artist, so his work often looks like big, colorful advertisements cut up and rearranged. Playmate probably combines images of beauty, product, and popular culture into something that makes you look twice and think about how media affects us. It sold for $1.8 million and is reportedly going to a museum, so the public will get to see it, not just private collectors. At number 9 is Georg Baselitz Hier, jetzt, dunkel, 2012, which sold for around $2.07 million by Thaddeus Roper Gallery. This is another Baselitz painting made in 2012. The title means here now bright, there dark. That could describe both a color contrast and a feeling, light and hope on one side, fear and sadness on the other. It probably also features his classical upside down figures. It sold for a little over $2 million, which makes Baselitz one of the few artists to appear twice in the top 10. Collectors clearly see long-term value in his work. At number 8 is Georg Baselitz again, siamo, ritornati, 2023, which sold for around $2.52 million by White Cube Gallery. Georg Baselitz is a German artist known for painting people upside down. He's been doing this for decades to make viewers focus on the painting technique, not just the subject. This painting's title is long and complicated, but it talks about Germany and ideas of national healing. It was made in 2023, and like most of Baselitz's work, it likely deals with history, memory, and emotions. It sold for over $2.5 million, showing that even in his 80s, Baselitz is still respected and collected. At number 8 is Georg Condo, The Insanity of the Devil, 2025, which sold for $2.45 million by House and With. This is the second Georg Condo painting that sold at this same price. The title, The Insanity of the Devil, is dramatic and intense. It likely shows one of his strange, twisted faces, filled with anger, fear, and confusion. It was also made this year and sold by the same gallery. Selling two big works for almost $2.5 million is a strong sign that Condo's new paintings are hot in the market right now. At number 6 is Georg Condo again, Streets of New York 2025, which sold for $2.45 million by Hauser and With. Georg Condo paints faces that are a mix of beauty and weird. Some look like they are falling apart or have extra eyes and twisted features. His style is messy, emotional, and always grabs your attention. This new painting is called Streets of New York, and it probably shows what it feels like to live in the city. Fast, noisy, and full of energy and madness. It sold for $2.45 million, and it's one of two paintings by Georg Condo that made it to the top 10 list. At number 5 is Keith Haring, Untitled 1983, sold for $3.5 million by Gladstone Gallery. Keith Haring was a famous American artist from the 1980s. He started drawing on subway walls in New York before becoming a global star. He's best known for his cartoon-like figures, dancing people, hearts, and lines that feel like they are vibrating with energy. This painting was made in 1983 using black ink on a wooden board, and it shows Haring's typical style: simple shapes, big movement, strong emotions. It was sold for $3.5 million, proving that his art is still very much in demand, even 30 years after his passing. At number 4 is Mark Bradford, Sin and Love and Fear 2025, which sold for 3.5 million US dollar by Hauser and Weiss. This is another new painting by Mark Bradford, which also sold for 3.5 million US dollar. It was sold by the same gallery and within the same week as the previous painting. That's a big deal. It shows that two different collectors saw value in Bradford's new work right away. The title Sin and Love and Fear sounds emotional and heavy. It probably talks about the ups and downs of life, the things people struggle with but don't always speak about. Bradford is the only artist on this list with two paintings sold at the same high price, a sign that he is one of the most important artists working today. Now to the top 3 paintings sold at Art Basel in Basel 2025. Mark Bradford takes the third place. Ain't Got No Time to Worry 2025, which sold for 3.5 million US dollar by Hauser and Weiss. Mark Bradford is a black American artist from Los Angeles who uses his art to talk about real life things like racism, poverty, politics, and community. He doesn't just use paint, he adds paper, rope, old signs, and all sorts of materials to make his canvases feel alive and textured. This painting is called Ain't Got No Time to Worry, and it was made in 2025. The title says a lot. It sounds like someone who's been through a lot but refuses to let worry slow them down. It sold for 3.5 million US dollar, which is no surprise. Bradford's work is deep, powerful, and in high demand with top collectors. The second highest painting came from a German artist, Gerhard Richter. This painting doesn't have a name, and the gallery didn't share much about it, but we know it was a large abstract painting, which means it doesn't show people or objects, just shapes, colors, and textures. Richter is known for creating very thoughtful and emotional abstract art. He often drags paint across the canvas using a tool called a squiggy, so the colors mix layers in unique ways. This Untitled painting sold for 6.8 million US dollar, and it was presented by David Werner, one of the biggest and most trusted galleries in the world. Even without a title or a clear image, Richter's name alone makes collectors want to buy. The number 1 spot goes to David Hackney, Mid-November Tunnel, painted in 2006, which sold between 13 to 17 million US dollar by Untitled Fine Arts. This was the most expensive painting sold at Art Basel in Basel 2025. David Hackney is a famous British artist who is known for painting beautiful outdoor scenes and using bright, happy colors. This particular painting shows a quiet road in the countryside, surrounded by trees that have lost their leaves in autumn. It feels peaceful, like a road trip through nature in November. It's a very large painting made up of 2 canvases side by side called a diptych, and it was painted back in 2006. Even though it's not brand new, collectors were still willing to pay a huge amount for it, between 13 to 17 million US dollar. That shows how much people still value Hackney's art, even after all these years. His work still makes people feel calm, nostalgic, and connected to the world around them, and it's priceless. These were the top 10 most expensive paintings sold at Art Basel in Basel this year. Some were old, some were brand new, but they all had something powerful, whether it was color, history, emotion, or just a big name behind them. Art collectors are still spending millions, and each of these artworks shows why. They tell stories, make people feel, and hold lasting value. Let me know which one stood out to you the most in the comments below. And if you love art made simple, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.